Hello, my name's Kayla, this is Cinnamon, Peaches, and Sage, and now that we've played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, what do the box art symbols mean? If you've been following my channel for a little while now, you'll know that before Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out, I came up with theories about each of the 4 symbols, as well as the border around the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet logo. Today I'm going to re-examine each of those 4 symbols based on what we know from the game of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to see if those theories held up. I'll also leave links in the description to my previous theory videos about this topic in case you're curious. Let's start off with the top left symbol. Originally, I thought that this symbol was supposed to represent a sextant. A sextant is a navigational instrument that was perfected by a Portuguese explorer. This navigational instrument uses the positions of large, relatively still objects in order to navigate big open spaces. Modern versions of it are still used today by some sailors as well as astronauts. In my original theory, the 2 zeros represented a type of error that a sextant can have when the horizon is not a flat line. I speculated that this could be because of timey-wimey things. Well, the timey-wimey things were definitely in the game of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but after playing the game, we know that this symbol represents Area 0. The 2 zeros, rather than being related to an error, have to do with it being called Area 0. Would be interesting why they named it Area 0 though. Anyways, there are 2 possible explanations for why it has that sort of hourglass shape. One is that it's supposed to represent the structure of Area 0, where we go from a large sky down into a point like a cave, and then back out into the underground. Another possibility is that it's representing the time machine itself, with it pulling from a wider range of time through the time machine into the current time. Moving on to the bottom left symbol, this was the one that I was initially the least sure about. I kept debating about whether or not this symbol would be related to the gimmick or if it would be more similar to a stat block because it has that hexagonal shape. Unfortunately, I went with the stat block idea and it ended up being the gimmick. I think, at least I hope, that we can all see that this is a Tera orb. For the top right symbol, I originally thought that this was multiplayer, and I know some people in the comments might debate this with me, but I still think I was right on this one. In the game, this symbol is etched into the ground where you find rare, version-exclusive Paradox Pokemon. In Scarlet, you can find Roaring Moon, and in Violet, you can find Iron Valiant. The multiplayer symbol in this location is to let you know that you need to explore it a little bit longer so that you can find the version-exclusive Pokemon to trade with someone who has the opposite version. I can already hear people in the comments saying, but Kayla, all of the Paradox Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet are game version exclusives. So technically, you would need multiplayer to trade for all of them. And yes, while that is true, Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant are by far the rarest of the Paradox forms. It wouldn't be too hard to miss these Pokemon entirely. It's an area where you find a rare version exclusive that you're going to probably talk about with your friends. Anyways, that's the only way that I can put together how similar this symbol is to the multiplayer symbol with what we actually find there. Now let's go to the symbol that started it all on my channel, the bottom right one, which I originally thought had to do with quantum time crystals. Even after the release of the game, it is still the most mysterious symbol. In fact, to my knowledge, it's the only symbol not to appear in-game. I actually still think that this is a reference to quantum time crystals, but that they're incorporating the inspiration in a way that is way different than I originally thought. Originally, I thought that we would have these quantum time crystals as places that we could physically go to, and it would be within those crystals that we found version-exclusive Pokemon that were trapped outside of our regular time. So for example, there might be a crystal where inside the crystal it was set in the future, and another crystal where inside the crystal it was set in the past, allowing us to catch Paradox Pokemon. While a very cool idea, that ended up being entirely false. From the main game of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we do not have Pokemon stuck inside of time crystals. However, we do have crystals that we encounter that contain a massive amount of energy. This massive amount of energy, which is probably infinity energy, but anyways, it allows for the characters to create more advanced tech such as AI. This is actually something we're seeing today with quantum time crystals. They have significantly more computing power than other energy sources. It's pretty likely that the best computers in the future will rely on quantum time crystals as their source of power. This is more similar to what we're seeing in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. These crystals have a massive amount of energy, allowing for more futuristic tech. Additionally, as I said in my previous video about this topic, quantum time crystals work in a sort of loop of cause and effect where things just are continuously sort of happening. But that doesn't work out too well in real life. In order for a quantum time crystal to get started, it needs some sort of activating agent. This is similar to how in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we need to use Tera orbs to activate terrestrialization. It's also similar to how we need to use the Violet or Scarlet book in order to activate the time machine. So overall with this symbol, I was right about the inspiration being quantum time crystals, but I was wrong about the way it was going to be applied within the game. Last thing I want to talk about is the symbols and the frame around the logo. I originally speculated that these would be based on the different ride forms of the Legendaries, and this was definitely true. I'm honestly really proud about this one because I was even able to figure out things like Koraidon having feathers and Miraidon using electromagnetism in order to climb cliffs. The things I got wrong with this part were that riding was available pretty much immediately, jumping ended up counting for 2 of the power-ups, and Koraidon or Miraidon turning into the battle form was not part of the 5 suspected power-up type of thing. So yeah, now that we've all played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, what do you think about these symbols? Do you have any theories about them? Let me know in the comments. I'm honestly super excited to read the comments on this one because I find things with symbols and language and stuff like that absolutely fascinating. If you learned something new in this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're not subscribed already, make sure that you go and do that. Hope you have a great day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!